I'm Pastor Lavern, and welcome to Take 5. I want to talk about the covenant-keeping God. I remember when I was growing up, I really used to enjoy playing in the rain. And my mother would come out of the house and call me out and say, come back, come back. But there's one thing I loved about the rain. Whenever the rain stopped, you would see a multicolored, beautiful rainbow. The Bible tells us that a rainbow is not the product of a mere scientific accident, but the rainbow is a sign of God's covenant between him and Noah. The Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 9 from verse 9, after the flood, that God looked down again and he said to Noah, I will not destroy the world again with a flood. I will not destroy living creatures off the face of the earth again. What I will do, I will place a token in the clouds. And God called that his bow. So when you see the rain falling, and after the rain falls and you see the multicolored rainbow, it is a token that we still have a covenant-keeping God. But what is a covenant? A covenant from the biblical context is a relationship that God enters into with his people. So here is God, forever living, eternal, perfect, enters into a covenant with people who are sinful and mortal and prone to sin. God comes down from his elevated position and he comes to man, to where man is. And God says, come, let us reason together. Though your sins be as scarlet, I'll make them as white as snow. So God comes and God invites mankind into the covenant. And he says, in the covenant, I will be your God, you will be my people. So when you are my people, there are certain rules, regulations that you must abide by so that we maintain the importance of the covenant. God not only entered into a covenant with Noah, God also entered into a covenant with Abraham. God said to Abraham, come out of your land, your country, your father's house, and go to a land which I will show you. And God gives him blessings that he promises. I will bless you. Those that bless you, I will bless. Those that curse you, I will curse. And the covenant relationship is passed down from generation to generation, to Isaac and to Jacob. And so we see that God has kept his covenant, that he will not destroy the world with the flood again. And we, as God's children on earth, as the families that exist on earth, we are beneficiaries of the covenant blessings that God wishes to give us. If we obey God as families, if we love God as families, if we commune with God as families, then we become recipients of the covenant blessings. And the covenant blessings are two-pronged. Number one, they are spiritual blessings. Number two, they are also material or financial blessings. And if you wish, there are social blessings. So our God is a covenant-keeping God. But you will notice when Paul speaks to Timothy, he says, Timothy, know this, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of pleasure, lovers of themselves. There will be truce breakers. They will have a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Matthew 24 then tells us, in the last days the love of many shall grow cold. Love is the foundation of the covenant that God enters into with mankind, where the loving God comes to his people and he expects his people to reciprocate his love through loving obedience. But in these last days, we see that many people have broken the covenant. Even as I speak to you, many families are suffering under the yoke of broken covenants. The trust has been broken. Love has been abandoned in homes. Divorce rates are going up at an alarming rate. And yet we ask, is God still there? Whenever it rains, we're reminded that God still keeps his covenant. By the token of his bow in the clouds, we still see that God is a covenant-keeping God. The book of Revelation gives us a very fascinating picture. Revelation chapter 4, we see one who is seated on the throne, and around him is a bow. The same bow that is spoken of in Genesis is spoken of in Revelation. From the time of creation to the time of the coming of Christ, God is still a covenant-keeping God. I want to challenge you in your families. As spouses, on the day you got married, you made a commitment of love which was founded on the fundamental principle of love and trust. A covenant was entered into. And God blessed you with children, with a family. The fact that our families are still together is a visible token that God has kept his covenant. Could it be that your family in these days of unfaithfulness is a token of God's faithfulness to the covenant?
Take 5 is a show produced by the Chizipiti Church, a fountain of love, and is made possible by support from many partners. If you wish to follow more of our studies on these and many other subjects, please connect with us on the Chizipiti SDA Church on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Like our platforms and share with us your comments. We also have our plug-in team ready to pray with you and encourage you through life's challenges. So please connect with us and would love to pray with you. We can't wait to hear from you. And remember, when life seems to drown you, just take a moment, take a break, and take 5 to reflect.
Thank you for joining us on Take 5. I trust that you are going to send in your comments, your contributions, and your questions. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. God bless and God be with you.